As far as instructional strategies, pardon me, instructional examples about the instructional strategies that I mentioned earlier in this presentation, starting with sharing your strengths and weaknesses. During the first week of the school year, hopefully when you're getting to know your students, either through questionnaires or GraphMe or any other strategies that you chose to use, do one of those yourselves, or let them ask appropriate questions about you so that you can answer those and try to build a connection with them. Teachers will better connect with their students if the students know that the teachers are actually human. Lastly about that is just we were all students at one time as well, so sharing our experiences and knowledge that we gained with our students will help them progress faster. So any strategies or techniques that you have about note-taking or studying strategies for studying for your quizzes or your tests or anything like that, let your students know so that they can progress just as you did with a little bit of your assistance. As far as targeting different senses, both in your instruction and with your assessments, give your students both spoken and written instructions, whether, again, it's during the lesson, just writing things on the board while you're talking, or when you give out a test, there should be written instructions on there, but also explain those verbally. Use physical objects in your lessons if it's appropriate. So whether that be money if you're doing counting, or physical objects like blocks or triangles or circles if you're doing geometry. Providing audiobooks for those that need them or want them. They don't necessarily need to have a disability to learn more from audiobooks than from just looking at words on a page. Lastly about this, incorporating charts and diagrams, especially in a math environment, is extremely crucial so that any of your visual learners can progress with the help of those charts, diagrams, and graphs. Lastly, about open-ended projects is a great strategy. Some examples would just be to use multiple projects so that students will have a choice of which project to choose so that it can be geared to their strengths so that they can show you what they know. What you can do as some examples is maybe students might be good at doing a research project. So they're really good at researching things, writing them down, note-taking, that kind of stuff, and then they can all formulate that into a nice written paper. Others might be more hands-on learners, more kinesthetic learners, so having them build something like a model and then writing a short report after that about their explanations and what they learned and that kind of stuff. A last example might be for your more creative types or your more vocal types. Have them create a lesson that they could potentially teach to your class. Teaching is one of the best ways to learn. So allowing them to teach a lesson or at least create their own lesson would be a great way for them to complete a project as well.